Because you're short, you're white, it's small, you can see the bulge in your pants.
However, if you insist on taking me on a date, there will be a $500 fee.
Dating someone who it is not formed. I was 22. My brain hadn't even fully developed.
It's your job to bend over backwards for your husband and your children because you love them, and that's your reward.
I feel about a man who goes overseas to find other women.
My brother wants to do that.
Going to the pet store and buying a cat, or you flying to Colombia to marry a woman who doesn't speak the same language as you because no woman in your country wants anything to do with you.
Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, be sure to click that notification bell just to make sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. All right, let's hop right into it.
What was your first question that you ever asked me?
So what's your biggest turn off in the bedroom?
And I said you. And you want to know why?
Why?
Because you're short, you're white, it's small, you can see the bulge in your pants. You have a size 8 shoe. Do you have a size 8 shoe?
No.
Yes, you do. I see
Size 9.
Oh, close. Bad teeth, bad eyes, bad hair. You don't even have a beard, and you're on King Street on Sunday.
Damn! This is an example of she knew she can get away with this. This man has no masculine frame whatsoever. And you know what, brother? This was just sad. That calm demeanor, I don't know. I'm not trying to sound like an animal out here. But man, I can't go down that way. Scream, do something. Get out! You know? It's sad to see, man. And I can see your balls through your pants. What turns me off is you. He should have snapped back. But you ugly. Because she wasn't even all that. Like, man, bro. I'm not saying to be disrespectful to women. She's asking for it. And this is why guys end up in prison, man. That's a situation to where a woman doing that to a woman is so heartless sometimes, right? And a guy can't sit there and take that. I feel sad for the brother. That was hard to watch. Oof. Next video.
Due to the fact that men make bitch, I have decided that I am single, celibate, and no longer willing to date anyone. However, if you insist on taking me on a date, there will be a $500 fee.
You can't make it up.
That $500 fee can be paid through Zelle, Cash App, or Apple Pay. I'll send you my phone number and you can send them my buttons.
She belongs to the streets.
Then we can discuss an arrangement. However, if you decide that you're going to text me or call me before you send buttons, you will be blocked. Yeah, that's how we're going to do that.
I will text you an arrangement. What kind of arrangement is that, right? She's talking like she's a woman of the night. Now, a guy's going to send you $500 for you to text him an arrangement. And what about the guys? Why would he do that? Guys take women on coffee dates for a reason. The guys take women to Cheesecake Factory and Applebee's, which women wrote that list about, for a reason. You know why? You're saying all of that. You still have that sneaky link, which is not even your sneaky link. That guy, one or two guys that you've been hooking up with for years, right? On the back burner. You're not celibate. You're not. You look like a stripper. You do. And then you have the eyelashes on, the light brown eyelashes to match the hair. Well, every other sentence, I should say, is mother ucka, mother ucka, 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 mother ucka, ucka, ucka. It's like you're joking, mother ucka, ucka. $500? Get lost. Truly, get lost. How is it worth it? I mean, you're getting on the internet talking like that. You're not showing guys it's worth your time. There's no need to announce that you're going celibate because you're lying. No need to announce any of this, right? Show a man why it's $500 is worth his time. And still, why would he pay that? For $500, he can have a less of a headache and go get a woman of the night. And I don't suggest that, but I'm saying that's what you're asking for him to do, to consider him. Yeah, right. On to the next video.
22, I dated a guy who was 29 years old, and all of his friends who were female, and I think this is important because I don't know if male friends would have said the same thing to him. So his female friends, they were 29, 30, 31 years old, and they would tell him, they were like, what are you doing? She is so young. She is 22 years old. I had just graduated college maybe like 3 weeks before I met this man. This man was a homeowner. And me, being a know-it-all 22-year-old, I was like, I'm not too young. I was going into that home and I was like rearranging kitchen cabinets. And I was like, I could just be a little housewife. And I look back on that relationship, which ended in flames, right? And now that I am 30, right? So I'm around that age that he was. I am that age that he was and his female friends were. And if I had a friend, a male friend my age, who started dating a 22-year-old, I would have said the same thing. I would have said the same thing. And this isn't about like age gaps and like, oh, you know, you don't have, like, I'm not against age gaps, okay? But I am against someone with a fully formed prefrontal cortex. And it's been formed for a while. Someone whose prefrontal cortex has been formed for years, dating someone who it is not formed. I was 22. My brain hadn't even fully developed. I was so naive and so ignorant. And at the time, I did not like his female friends. I was like, they just don't want us to be together. They're just jealous because I'm young. And it was awful. But I am so grateful for them and like realize now what they were trying to do, because I would do the same thing. I was not ready to be in a relationship with someone who was almost 30, a homeowner. All of his friends were around the same age. We had nothing in common. It wasn't going to go anywhere. But the hard thing about being young and not having the full, you know, brain that you're supposed to have yet, I didn't see it. And I feel like there's still these arguments or conversations over like, yeah, but you can like love who you love and date who you love. And it's like, okay, have we not learned from Queen Mother Taylor Swift? Have we not heard her songs, right? Could have, should have, would have. Are we not picking up on the fact that it is so awful that it's a universal experience for all of us women between the ages of like 19 and 24 to just date much older men and be taken advantage of and then end up heartbroken, only to grow up and fully form our brains and look back at the situation and be like, that was messed up. That was messed up. And I was in a situation where there were other women who were trying to tell him and me that it was messed up, and I just couldn't be told. Luckily, it ended. It went on longer than it needed to. But I think back on that relationship and I think about like me now and him now, and it just gives me, I'm just slightly grossed out that it happened and I couldn't be told at 22 years old that it was as disgusting as it really was. I was being as manipulated as I really was by this grown man.
So she said she was 22 years old and she didn't have a fully developed frontal cortex. She makes it seem like she's 5, right? Man, let me finish. So then she said the guy was almost 30. Kind of makes you guys close to the same age because women usually mature faster. So that's what I understand, right? So the man was on his grind. He had a home. He liked you. Like you said, you came in, you wanted to play housewife. You had the right thing in mind. You know what happened wrong? Where you thinking now, right? And the fact that you probably went in there trying to run the whole show, and the reason why he left you, you didn't get on his program. See, you know why guys go for younger women? To get on their program, because their brain is not as corrupted yet. Now, you're 30, corrupted, and smacking the wall. You're just smacking face forward into a brick wall. You're smacking into the Great Wall of China. You're running down the Great Wall of China, just rubbing your head on the bricks, ruining the whole wall. Listen to what you're saying. This is one of those examples of too smart for your own good. It's sad to see, man. That's what's going on in this world nowadays. So many women too smart for their own good. I don't know, man. I truly don't know.
I don't want to say love is a lie, but the whole idea of love has been weaponized against women in order to get us to provide labor for free or without any kind of recognition or acknowledgement. Like if someone's a chef and they cook food for people, that's a job and they're compensated for it and they're appreciated for it. If someone is a nanny and they take care of children, that's a job and they're compensated for it and appreciated for it. If someone is a SW or even a mistress, they're usually compensated and appreciated for it. But when you become a wife, when you become a mother, you are not compensated or appreciated for any of these things. Huh? I don't have a good relationship with my mother. And the older I've gotten, the more I'm like, oh, okay. Even though I don't think she was a very good mother, it makes a lot of sense why she wasn't a good mother. Because what a thankless job for 98% of women who occupy it. And we're supposed to do it all with a smile on our face because love. Because you love your children. That's why you take care of them. Because you love your husband. That's why you married him. That's why you feed him. That's why you pick up after him. That's why you forgive him. That's why you're romantic with him, even if you don't feel like being romantic with him. Because he has needs and you love him and it's your job to fulfill them. It's your job to bend over backwards for your husband and your children because you love them and that's your reward. If you date men, it's supposed to be because you're trying to find love. Any other reason would be shallow and you're a shallow, vapid. You have any other intention or reason to want to date a man. Men, on the other hand, well, they have to ease into love. They're not so prone to love. They're visual creatures.
Stop it. Get some help.
They want someone who's super young. They want someone who's super hot. You know, love isn't so much their thing. Sure, they love their children, but not like a mother could love their children. Sure, they love their wives, but not like a woman loves a man. You see how love implicates women and lets men off the hook?
You assume too much.
Now, again, I'm not saying love doesn't exist, but kind of like religion, it started off being a quintessential part of being a human being and a very real thing, and it was hijacked and weaponized against the people that it was made to oppress.
Blah, 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 blah.
Now, guys, when I found this video, at the bottom it said hashtag FNS and all of those things, independent womanhood, patriarchy, all within the TikTok video, right? So you already know what's going on in this woman's mind. And then, you know who this woman is? Let me show you guys who this woman is.
Normally I would hate to give you attention without charging you, but I just thought this was an interesting point to make real quick. Let's look up the definition of the word cope. The definition of the word cope is to effectively deal with something difficult. Now, which do you think is the larger cope? Me going to the pet store and buying a cat? Or you flying to Colombia to marry a woman who doesn't speak the same language as you because no woman in your country wants anything to do with you?
Nobody loves you.
I get a cat to replace you.
Kids! You know I love them.
You have to fly to a foreign country to replace us. That's a cope.
You see what I mean, guys? You see what I mean? The same woman who's trying to break down how it's better to have a cat than become a passport bro.
Kids! You know I love them.
I can't anymore with this. Next video.
If a man came up on a boat, sailed towards me from overseas, I'd be like, oh my god.
How do y'all feel about a man who goes overseas to find other women? A passport bro. Do you think it diminishes the quality of that man? A man who go overseas instead of staying in America because they find a more traditional woman.
I don't care. My brother wants to do that.
I think it's romantic. Like I think if you do that, you really care.
That's fine.
I think it's because he's looking for something real, like true love.
Yeah.
Like if a man came up on a boat, sailed towards me from overseas,
I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
I'd be like, oh my god.
Like imagine a man's like, I traveled overseas to find a woman like you.
That would be too good.
Like, yeah, that is good.
Now, this is what guys love to see. These are women whose minds aren't corrupted. Because the first thing they didn't think, the first thing on their brain wasn't, oh, how dare you? How could you go over there and get an impoverished woman, right? They thought romantic. They still were thinking like soap opera movies, but that's fine, right? They're still innocent. They're young. They still have a chance. They come across like the women that'll go to college, have fun, get married on their third, fourth year. They're looking for a husband, right? So that's the difference. Most women aren't that way. They're hearing the negative of the patriarchy and being corrupted, right? Never having kids, just having a disregard for men. But then there's others like this. They're back home, but a guy's not going to stay home and try to find them because it's so far, so few. Because we all realize, it's more to life than dealing with that.
So he's coming.